It's our KWXX 101.5, Kona 94.7, Hilo and Ka'u on this Aloha Monday, final hour of the Breakfast Luau as promised. No strangers in the studio here with us, but local girls representing for our Community First Hawaii Ohana. We have our dear friend Tish. Tish is back in studio with us, Tish Nakata, and my doctor and our physician here in Hilo, Dr. Mililani Trask-Batty, MD, in studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Aloha kako.
Now, we've had you folks in studio. Well, we've had Doc in studio before. First time, Tish, with our Community First Hawaii Ohana. Tish, you want to get started and tell us, about National Hypertension Awareness Month. We're talking about, Olakino today and all good things with our health. So, good morning, first of all.
Good morning. Aloha kakahiaka.
Welcome back, friends. So,
thanks for having us. We are Community First Hawaii.
Everything we need to
know. Yeah. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, but for us, it is High Blood Pressure Education Month. Oh, that's awesome. And we want to just kind of shed light on something that's not often talked about. So knowing your numbers, is your blood pressure numbers, what do those two numbers mean? When you go to the doctor and you get your blood pressure cuff and they're
We're guilty of that.
They
tell us the number, but
and you're
I
like,
don't know.
okay, yeah,
is
you're
it high, is it
okay,
low?
okay,
Right.
okay. Is that good? Is that not good? Good. Okay, we're okay. Then we don't talk about it again. But it's something that is so, so important. And I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Trask to tell us how and why it is so important.
Morning, Doc. Good morning. Aloha kakahiaka.
Aloha kakahiaka. Good morning, everybody.
High blood pressure, hypertension, Doc. What do our listeners need to know if they have no clue what is even high blood pressure, hypertension?
Yeah, so high blood pressure is super important. Probably the most common thing we see in primary care. It's one of your vitals, one of the first things we check. Because a lot of the times with high blood pressure, you don't have any symptoms at all. It's nicknamed the silent killer for that reason. Right. But it's the number one cause of mortality or death across all populations, and some populations even more so, like in Kanaka. So, ultimately, high blood pressure is when your blood pressure is high. We look at two numbers, right? There's always a top number and a bottom number.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The top number is your systolic, which in short is just when your heart squeezes, right? So that's why it's higher. It's when the blood is going through your whole body. And then the bottom number is your diastolic, and that's when your heart gets to relax. And sometimes people always like to focus on the top number, right? Because it's bigger. It gets more of the attention, I would say. But that bottom number, the diastolic, is just as important because it's when the heart, again, gets to relax and blood gets to flow to the heart. So both numbers are super important to know.
Okay. Can you let us know, Doc, what are some of the tips for maintaining like healthy blood pressure and improving like borderline numbers? There's some people that are, you're like, you get chance. You're like right there. Like, what can we do?
Yeah, exactly. So in primary care, right, we love prevention. And so it all starts, really, we start checking blood pressure at the age of 3 in your checkups. Yeah, and all the way, in community events and such. So a lot of things can impact your blood pressure. Timing throughout the day, the blood pressure changes, stress level, our diet, our exercise, our sleep. So those are the common things we need to think about and have in good balance. Sometimes it gets a little bit more complicated than that. Like if keiki have high blood pressure, there are other things we have to think about, hormones or development. And then same thing with kupuna, right? Because they have been around a little bit longer. Maybe there's something else going on in those blood vessels, or they have other conditions that we have to think about.
All about the education. And really, we want to get that message out is, going doctor, first of all. Getting there, going to the doctor, Ohana. For all of our Ohana tuning in this morning and then following up from there. We took our own blood pressures this morning. Want to talk about elevation? There we share, Doc. Can. But, next question would be blood pressure numbers. What numbers should prompt someone to follow up with a healthcare provider?
Yes. So
numbers this morning.
So remember, we got to keep in mind all the things we were talking about.
Factors.
Yes. Today in the studio, both Kat and Kuʻehu's blood pressures were elevated.
The sacrifice we make for you guys.
Right. But, we have to keep in mind when we're really checking blood pressures, you got to be sitting down, relax, 5 minutes, no yelling at the kids. Hopefully we're not like smoking or just had a cup of coffee. We want to make sure our bladders are empty. All those things contribute, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes
Thank you,
into
Doc.
it.
We feel so seen now. We feel much better. Not a pressure
Not
going
too bad,
down.
not too bad.
Right.
Knowing your numbers is important.
After the luau pow, then we'll take our numbers.
Right. We got to make sure we check it later. But, the big number most people know, if they know anything about blood pressure, is 120 over 80.
120 over
You'll
80.
hear that on, popular media when they check their blood pressure, right? When they go into the ER or something. So 120 over 80, we want it under that.
Oh.
Though we want it under 120 over 80. And then
We really got to check our pressure later. Kat. Yeah.
the next level up, when we consider elevated and we're talking about, okay, now we got to focus. Maybe we start checking more at home and implementing some of the prevention measures we talked about, is 120 to 129 over 80. And then when we diagnose hypertension or high blood pressure, it's 130 to 139 over 80 to 89.
Which we are in that section.
There we are. There we are this morning. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100, family, and maybe even above that. At the
You were
current time.
132 over 96.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So technically, between stage 1 and stage 2 hypertension,
The elevation is real. Yeah.
Doc, are you accepting new patients?
yes, we
Oh,
are.
they are. No, for real.
Which I know, right? Being a Hilo girl, it is challenging to get into primary care. But at Alteus Medical Group Big Island, which is our new name, we are accepting patients and all insurances other than Kaiser, right? Kaiser, you got to go see our lovely friends at Kaiser.
Doc Tish, any other information we want to get out to our listeners this morning on behalf of Community First Hawaii and all the info you're sharing with us?
Yes, absolutely. So getting your blood pressure checked at your doctor's is super important. Mahalo, Dr. Trask, and please see her if you do need a doctor. But sometimes that's only once a year. And so Community First, we wanted to give you more opportunities. We are partnering with Ali'i Health Center in the Keʻehu Shopping Center each Friday of this month. So there's 2 more Fridays at Keʻehu Shopping Center, 1 to 4 o'clock in the evening. You can go get your blood pressure checked. Just stop by their blue tent and get your blood pressure checked there. You can also see us at Reed's Bay this Sunday, May 24th
I'll
at
be
the
your MC.
Celebration of Life
Perfect. Lantern
event.
floating.
Find us.
Hawaii Care Choices.
Yes.
Perfect.
So find our Community First Hawaii tent. It is blue also, and we'll be checking blood pressures under that as well. We just want to encourage everybody to check as much as you can, check at home. And it's actually really quick. We'll do a quick check over here, and just wanted to encourage everyone. Knowing your numbers is super important, and then taking the next step.
Website, social media, Tish, while we have you folks, communityfirsthawaii.org.
Yes, you can find us, communityfirsthawaii.org, and on our Instagram, Community First Hawaii.
Mahalo anui to the both of you. Ya'olua to Tish, of course, Nakata here in studio with us, and Dr. Mililani Traskbatty, MD, for sharing all of that information. Important, vital, and definitely worth sharing this morning with our listeners.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love you both.
Just
And,
wanted
yeah.
to
Go
remind
ahead,
you,
Doc.
too, that there is the work-based program. So for all of you who are busy and have a hard time getting out to specific events, there's this lovely program through Community First. Our group is doing it as well, of where they will come. They will bring you information and flyers and a blood pressure machine and a log so that you can check your blood pressure at work if that's easier. And it's incentivized, right?
Self-check.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were talking about that.
You
Okay,
can
some incentive.
win- yes, win prizes. Give us a little feedback with the survey, and you can enter to win a Yeti cooler. And for the organization setting up, so like KWXX, you guys will be entered to win $250 gift certificate for your team.
Right there. Mahalo for all of that info and more. Again, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, communityfirsthawaii.org. Mahalo again to Dr. Mililani and Tita Tish here in studio with us. It's Kat and
Mahalo for having
Kuʻehu
us.
right here on your feel good island music station.
KWXX.